let's go over what we did yesterday. So we talked about slopes yesterday, and we talked about what they were. Okay, exactly. The slope, were the tilt of the line. Rise over run. Okay, the up and down is the top, and the side to side is the bottom. Look, if you're trying to find the slope using a graph, like if they gave you the graph and you have to find the slope, you're going to find 2 points, 2 or more points on the line. Make sure that they're in that intersection. You count up first. That's going to be your rise. And you go left or right second. Down is negative, up is positive, left is negative, right is positive. Okay, we talked about, again, you put it in rise over run, up and down is on the top, side to side is on the bottom, and you simplify it. Okay, so what if they didn't give you the graph, but they gave you 2 points that are on the graph? We use this formula. And we talked about how you need to, underneath each number, write x1, y1, x2, y2. Excuse me, it gives you a visual, so when you're filling in the numbers for that formula, you don't get confused. The easiest thing to do is put x on top, because if x comes first, natural thing for people to do is put x on top. Or they'll do y1 minus y2. You know what I'm saying? So this is like completely backwards with x on the bottom, and it's y2 minus y1. So you got to be really careful. Writing this down underneath gives you that visual. If the slope is 0 over a number, if 0 is in the numerator, the slope is 0. It's a horizontal line. There is no slope. If the slope is 4 over 0 and the 0 is in the denominator, the answer is undefined. It's a vertical line. Okay, so that's as far as we got. I gave you one example. I drew the graph. We found 2 points that were in that intersection, or crossroads, or crosshairs. Again, Joseph's the only one that understood that. Crosshairs comment. Okay. So in Texas, usually most of my students get that. Okay, if you don't understand, it's okay. Okay, anyway, it's a hunting thing. All right, so anyway, you go up or down first. And I still have Algebra 1 students that will go like left and then down. And you cannot do that. You go up and down first, that's your rise. And then you go left and right. That's your run. That is like a very common mistake, that they'll say, oh, I want to go like start here. I'll go this way and then this way. That'll get you a wrong answer, unfortunately. Another common mistake is going like down and saying it's positive, or going left and saying it's positive. So knowing which is positive and negative and what goes on top, which one you do first, those are common mistakes. Yes, ma'am?
With left, right, down, and up, when you go up, it's positive. When you go right, it's positive. When you go left, it's negative. When you go down, it's negative.
Right here. When you go up, it's positive. Down, negative.
Isn't that exactly what the thing is? Like the down part.
On a number line?
No, on like.
Oh.
On like the graph. If you go down, there's the negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's do another example. Oh. Okay, so this is part 2 of learning about slopes. Here's my example. I'm going to draw it and we'll talk about it, and then I'll let you draw it, okay? So just keep your pencils and pens down. I'm going to draw a random Cartesian plane. Don't worry about how many blocks it takes. I'll let you figure this out later. Okay, so here's my random Cartesian plane. This is my y, this is my x, and then, hold on. Okay. Trying to get this as perfect as possible. That's pretty good. Okay. So let's say they give you this graph. Are y'all watching? This graph. And they say, what is the slope of this graph? Well, remember, the first thing you need to do is find 2 points on this line that are in those crossroads, the intersections, okay? So like, for example, right here, is that in the crossroads? This right here? That's smack dab in the middle of a square.
Oh.
See, look, right here, that's not inside the crossroads. Look, do you see, I'm talking about crossroads of your graph paper. See, if you look right here and right here, no other, look in here real carefully. There is no other place. This is getting close, but there's no other place where the line crosses perfectly in the intersection. If y'all need to walk up there and look, you can see. So look carefully as to why I chose those. That's close. But do you see what I'm talking about though?
Yes.
Why I chose those 2 points. Do you see, Natalia? Because I know you're having a bad morning, but you have to learn this too. So you are in control right now, right? Okay. So don't make your morning worse, is what I'm saying. Wash it away. Wash it away. I've had actually, I lied to you last night. I was having a very rough evening. Anyway, so I'm letting it go. Letting it go. Let it go. Okay, I won't sing.
No.
I told you about the 3-year-old when I taught 3-year-olds. I used to teach preschool, believe it or not. And I used to do the little sing-alongs and circle time and stuff. And I had a 3-year-old little girl. They call me Miss Beth. And because they're little. She put her hands over her ears. And I asked her what was wrong. And she said, please, Miss Beth, stop singing. You're hurting my ears. And you know, 3-year-olds are brutally honest. I have never sang in public since. Even with worship, I kind of whisper. She was right. Okay, so I will not sing. Okay, so anyway, you look at the graph and you try to find 2 places where it's in that intersection of the graph. See that? Where it crosses. Do you see that? Natalia, do you see it? Joseph, do you see it? Kelly, do you see it?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we're looking for the slope. It's rise over run. So I'm going to choose this dot. And I need to draw my map to get to this dot. Now, can I go this way and up?
No,
Why not?
it's rise over run.
That's right. Because the first thing we do is go up or down. So I'm going to go up to here. Now, how many places did I go up? Because that's first. 1, 2. See, I'm going to start here at this dot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I went up 11. And I'm going to write that down. And then I'm going, and is that positive or negative, Kelly?
Positive.
That's right. And I'm going to go left. I always draw my little lines. Start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Natalia, is that positive or negative? Negative. That is my slope. Yes, ma'am.
If we wanted to go down from the other side and then
Yep. I'll get to that in just a second. This right here is your slope. Now, I want to show you, Italia is one step ahead of me. She said, what if we started at this dot? Joseph, you pay attention?
Yeah.
And went to this one. We would go down 11. So that would be negative 11. And then we would go right 5, which is positive 5, right? Look at that. That is the same slope. That is the same slope. Even though the 11 is positive here and negative here, and the 5 is negative here, positive here, you're still getting the exact same slope. So what that tells you is that the negative can be either on the top number or the bottom number. Not both, because negative over negative gives you positive. So what if they said, what if you got this as your slope? Huh? This is the same as this. You could either apply the negative to the top number or the bottom number. It could either be negative 11 over 5 or positive 11 over negative 5. So if this is what they give you, and because you're going to get that, a negative in front of the whole fraction, when you're doing your slope, you apply that negative to either the top number or the bottom number. Both are going to give you the same.
So it's optional?
It is optional. Because if you see, we started with this dot and went to this one and got this slope. And Natalia said, what about if we go the other direction? We started at this dot and went to this one. Again, if you do rise over run first, got negative 11, and then you do, did I just say do rise over run first? You do rise first, and then you do your run. Yeah. Both of these are the same slope. So what ends up happening is you have to quit looking at this as a fraction. You truly, I drill fractions all year, and then boom, February, hey, this is slope, it's no longer a fraction. The only part that behaves like a fraction on this, in this case, is if you need to reduce it or simplify it. That's it, just like you would a fraction. So this right here is all you need to do. Okay, so that is confusing to some of my students. Still, I have like 1 or 2 in 8th grade that will see this negative, and they're like, okay, does that mean the whole fraction's negative? Well, in the case of fractions, yes. But when you're breaking it down to slope, it's rise over run. It's not a fraction. So the negative is either with the top or the bottom.
You just choose.
Yep, you absolutely can choose. A lot of times with graphs, you're forced to choose a certain one because your point is like maybe way down here and you can't go any further. So you have to go up and over. But yeah, you absolutely can choose one or the other. Okay? All right.
I'm done.
Okay, find something to do.
The answer is
Just find something for another class.
that's what I had.
Spanish. Oh, you don't have Spanish.
It's 2.2.
Okay.
It's 2 point, negative 2.2.
Read a book. Draw. I don't care. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and open your books to page 371.
So we're not gonna draw the graph.
Huh? Oh, yeah. If you want to draw the graph, I'm so sorry. Go ahead. Draw the graph. I am so sorry. If you want to draw it, go ahead.
I won't know how to draw the point well. Because the points are so accurate.
Okay, look, quit talking about it. If you want to draw it, start drawing it. Otherwise, we're going to move on because I don't want that fire drill to start. But if you're not drawing it, make sure your books are open page 371. 371.
You go to the restroom.
Yes, you may. Make it snappy. If the fire drill happens in your bathroom, you know where we'll be and you just meet us out there.
Snappy solid.
Make sure you have your books ready to go. And I only have like 4 examples to do, which is going to be nice. Got a girlfriend? Okay, good. Okay, so we're doing page 371. 371. Whoops. Examples. Page 371. Okay, we're going to look at number 2 in your book. So look at number 2 in your book. And you're going to have to look carefully. They gave you a graph. You need to look very carefully, and you can mark in your book. Look very carefully. Find 2 places on the graph, on your line, that cross the intersections. Mark them, and then tell me what the slope is. Kelly, you want to do it?
Yes.
Okay. You can mark it in your book, draw the little map and everything, and tell me what your slope is.
Okay, so -2, 1. That's the word of prayer.
Okay, well, okay.
And then
So that's your first dot.
-6.
-6.
Sorry,
Okay.
-1,
Uh-huh.
+6.
Is it 6 or 5?
It's -1, +6.
I think it's +5.
+5?
Yeah.
Oh, it's,
Okay, so tell me what your slope is.
the slope is the given lines.
Draw your little map. And the rest of you need to do the same in your book. Got it?
Yes. Okay, so count is negative. So, -5 and +2 on the slope.
Are you sure about that? So did you start at the dot, your first ordered pair,
Yes.
and you went? Did someone get something different?
I don't.
Huh?
Um,
Okay. Are you looking at number 2?
yes, ma'am.
Are you looking at where the line crosses the? Okay. Tanner, go get your old math book real quick.
Okay. This is count down or up? I counted down first. That's why I got 5, -5. Because I counted down and that's
Okay.
negative.
371.
Because I can only find one point that crosses it perfectly.
Okay. I'm gonna zoom in. Okay. Here's one right here.
Still more I can see.
What about this?
One looks like it's a little bit off.
Yeah, that's the one I got.
That one looks a little off to me. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It does.
Yeah, -5.
It looks
No.
a little bit off.
Okay, it's not. It's right there on the money. Okay, so if we go up,
Oh, you went that way. I went down.
it doesn't matter. How many places did we go up?
5,
No.
4.
Thank you. We went up 4. And then we go over how many? Huh? Look, from here to here. 1.
So it's 4 over 1.
Yeah, it's 4 over 1 or just 4.
That's just 4 over 1.
You might as well do it this way because then you get used to it. If you go down, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's -4. And then you go left 1, that's -1. Negative over negative is a,
Positive.
there you go.
I just did that one.
Oh, I thought that still said 22. It says 23.
So here it is drawn out. Number 2, it's 4 over 1. Okay, number 4. Joseph, you want to try that one?
These are really hard to tell.
Yep.
Two,
You're close.
2 over 3.
That's right.
All right, I forgot you're not supposed to.
It's 2 over 3. Here you go. Here's the graph.
All right, you can do it.
And you could do it either way. Those are your 2 dots. Yes?
When you first get it, it's negative, correct, on both? On negative.
Well, it depends. If you start here, down 2, that's -2. And then left 3, that's -3. Negative over negative gives you a positive. If you start here, you go up 2, +2, right 3, +3. Got it?
I got the placement different. So,
Do you understand?
yes, I just got the placement where I was totally different.
You understand that? Do you see in your book those two dots? Or where those two dots would be found?
Yes.
All right, Natalia, why don't you do number 6?
I see multiple that
Okay, so choose 2 places and then start counting. And you're right, there are multiple ones on this one. So just choose 2 and then start counting. Okay, 1 over 1. That you can either write 1 over 1 or just 1. Either one of those is correct. Good job. Anyone else not find that? Anyone? Anyone? Are we good? Are we good?
What if we were to pick a different one?
It wouldn't matter. Because if you pick 2 others, it could be 3 over 3, which gives you 1.
Yeah, because they're all the whole thing is.
Exactly. Okay, do we understand now? The biggest problem is finding those 2 dots.
Oh my god. I was gonna just give it to us.
Okay, so now let's look at 14. Y'all are gonna probably like this better. It says using the slope. Oops. Using the slope, sure. It says using the slope formula, find the slope of the line through 2 given points.
Oh, is it that X and Y thing?
Yeah. So exactly. See, you're like, okay, I like that better because that's clear, I understand it. So they give you 0 and 5 and 2 and 4. Joseph, what is the formula?
That's what I'm trying to remember. Is it y2 plus y?
No, minus y1
y2 minus
over.
x2 minus x.
Very good. So we're going to write underneath here x1 and y1, x2 and y2, just to be safe. So Joseph, set this up for me.
So on the top we would have 4 minus 5.
Uh-huh.
And on the bottom we'd have 2 minus 0.
All right, so 4 minus 5 is,
-1.
and 2 minus 0 is,
2 minus 0 is 2.
and there's your slope.
That was really easy.
Right? So are there any questions on how to do that?
No.
That's pretty basic, right? Any questions? All right, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all start.
We are supposed to do 1 through 5. Do we graph it on the paper?
No. You do 1 through 5 just like we did 2, 4, and 6. You just write the slope. You don't have to graph anything. You just write the slope. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 11 problems.
Yeah.
Due Thursday.
Oh wait, today's Wednesday.
Yeah, I know, I keep getting that
I said
confused.
Tuesday.
Yeah, I thought it was Tuesday.
And I probably will assign some IXL. Probably assign it tomorrow though. Okay? Alright.
And I'm not in this class, but okay.